everyone, Sally here. Woohoo! Welcome to Menopause Mindset Monday. This is the place to get inspiration and motivation on how to have a better menopause and midlife transition using the power of our amazing, brilliant mind, our mindset, and our perspective. So I hope you're doing well today over on Facebook. I hope you're doing well today over on Instagram. Let me know how you are. How's your weekend been? What's the flavour of the day? How are you feeling today? I am feeling quite fired up. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling motivated. I've got lots of clarity at the moment, which is a really good thing. So today's topic is called starting and scaling your business during your peri to post menopausal years. Now, I want you guys to watch to the end because I've got something really fun for you to do. So this is going to be one of 5 videos around this subject of entrepreneurship, because this month is all about entrepreneurship and business during those peri to postmenopausal years. So this is going to be one of 5, and I'm going to explain to you the other videos that I'm going to be doing in a second. But the reason I wanted to do this is because I often get asked by my clients and by my followers on social media how I do what I do, because many of my clients are wanting to do the same. So people are looking and going, what's the thinking behind what you're doing? How do you have the energy? How do you have the consistency to do what you're doing? And I thought I would share with you how I have done it, especially during my perimenopausal years when there hasn't been that much energy previously, typically, but now there is a lot more energy. So, okay, so there's no way I'm going to be able to fit all of this in one video. So the next videos I'm going to be doing, today's video is all about why entrepreneurship happens to women at menopause. I've got 6 pointers, tips, suggestions for you a bit later on, how to start thinking about business if you're thinking of going into it, or how to start growing your business if you already have a business. And usually it's wellness businesses that many women at menopause go into, and there's very good reason for that. And then we're going to get into, in the coming weeks, we're going to get into more of the nitty-gritty type stuff. So we're going to get into, the second video is going to be on relationship building and how to grow your audience. The third video on the third week, in 3 Mondays' time, is going to be how to grow a business in a limited amount of time. Then the week after, we're going to start talking about how to start charging if you're not charging, or how to start charging a little bit more. And then week 5, we're going to look at how to create an online course, but we're going to look at the sort of back end stuff. And this is something that has recently helped me. So if you are watching, do let me know, say hi, let me know how you are. And so let's start with why I am so hugely passionate about women starting and scaling their businesses at this stage in their life. Number 1, because frankly, I'm pissed off. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. I'm pissed off with the cultural narrative that basically says women are over the hill, we're redundant, we don't have any more good ideas, we're moany, we're crabby, we don't have the energy, all we're doing is sweating in a corner having hot flushes. If that were true, it would be a very, very sorry state of affairs indeed. Wouldn't you agree, right? And I don't believe that about life. I believe that life is good. I believe that we live in a benevolent universe. I believe that life supports us with whatever we want. I just refuse to believe that women in their peri to post menopausal years are redundant, they're useless, and they're over the hill. So, this sort of stokes my fire. This sort of rebel nature comes out in me because I just feel like I want to prove everyone wrong. I've always loved playing devil's advocate, and I think that so many women during these years like to play devil's advocate too, because they're just pissed off. We have a lot of power when we're pissed off. And then you've also got the fact that women are living much longer now. So that means that many women are living the majority of their lives post-menopausally or in their menopausal years. And I just refuse to believe that there's nothing left for women who are living in those years. There has to be a solution to that, and there is a solution. So I think that many women are feeling angry about this very unjust cultural narrative that we live in about aging, and that we're kind of past it and we're past our usefulness. And I think that many women are wanting to tap into that rebel nature that seems to be kind of ignited within us. Because we're not past it. I think a lot of women at this time of their life have a lot of creativity, they have a lot of empathy, they have a lot of wisdom, they have a lot of ideas about social justice, about fairness, about equality, and things like that. And, Rebecca Brown, who I've just interviewed for my podcast, referred to a study that said, investors are actually much more likely to invest in midlife women because they're getting a return on their investment, which is amazing. And there was a quote that I found in an article, which I will put up for you, that said, "Progress will always need a solid push." And I love that. Women at midlife tend to have this progressive energy about them. And I think we are the ones that are helping to make this progressive push happen because we're angry, right? And we can use that anger, we can use that fire, we can use that passion. So reason number 2 that I'm so passionate about women starting and scaling their businesses is that because the workplace can become really quite uncomfortable for women at midlife. Often the heating is set too high. Often there's not enough breaks in the day. Often there's nowhere to go and have a lay down if you need to have like a 20-minute lay down. Often you have to kind of work through headaches, or you have to work through feeling ill, or you have to work through burnout. Often the deadlines are too pressing. Often there's no support. Often there's no understanding. So working from home or working for yourself or becoming an entrepreneur at this stage in your life will give you more flexibility. It will give you the opportunity to rest and relax if you need to, or to take a break, or to do a quick meditation, or to get up and get a drink or a snack, or to cook a healthy lunch, or to put your laundry on, right? Or to fit in your exercise. It will give you more autonomy over your day. And women at midlife and at menopause, and men too, let's face it, need more autonomy in their lives. So number 3, and I think this is so incredibly, mind-blowingly powerful, right? I believe the main reason I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship at menopause is because entrepreneurship is a powerful way for us to overcome the grief that we feel of feeling redundant at menopause. So I don't think enough is spoken about this whole grieving process, this whole idea that menopause is a grieving process, because let's face it, during the menopausal years, we are losing what culture deems as our youth, our looks, our fertility, loss of energy, our sexiness, and all of that. But you know what? Entrepreneurship gives us all of that back. So entrepreneurship is a way of helping us deal with the grief of loss. Because entrepreneurship is creative. It's a way of regaining our fertility. So the physical fertility within us might have diminished, but it can be transmuted into something else. Now remember this, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. And so in this respect, the energy of fertility gets to be transformed. The energy of physical fertility gets to be transformed into a different kind of fertility, into something else, into art, into business, into social justice and all of that good stuff. Because it's not just about childbirth, it's about productivity. Fertility is about productivity and energy and zest for life. So I liken it to like a fertile soil. So a fertile soil is an environment which things can grow out of. And that can become you. You can become that fertile soil where there's an absence of toxins, both physical, mental, and emotional, where it has depth, where it's nutrient rich. It's a living, breathing environment with which grows new life. And that's why the sort of female entrepreneurial world, where we're giving each other a leg up, that's what it is. It's fertility. It's fertile soil that enables more to grow. Each woman is like a plant growing out of that fertile soil. So if you are fired up from that, let's begin. So I've got 6 kind of introductory, I don't really know what they are. I think they're sort of introductory mindset tips, they're suggestions, they're perspectives, they are things for you to do on how to start or grow your business. So first of all, you really need to understand why you want to do this. Now, I always kind of struggled with this. So a lot of my coaches and teachers said, what's your why? Why are you doing it? And I sort of felt like this was a bit sort of benign, a bit useless, a bit of a useless sort of time wasting exercise. But actually, the more I've gone down the entrepreneurial route, the more I realise how important this is, because when the going gets tough, you can pull on it. And the going will get tough, believe me. So also I think this is important because subconsciously we might know why we're doing it. We might have a feeling, we might have a calling. I want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe we see other people doing it. But I think it's really important to spell it out, to stick it up somewhere and then keep refining it, because your why will change over time. It does. It has to change. It grows with you. And as we go through menopause, we shift, we morph, we change quite a lot during that time. And so keeping a check on your why is really good for you to maintain that motivation that you're going to need in your business. So your why will be your driver. It will be the thing that helps you move through blocks. It will be the thing that helps you when you have tech headaches. It will be the thing that drives you when you're bored of the routine, you're bored of the consistency. It will be the thing that drives you through complications. It will be the thing that drives you through problems. It will be the thing that drives you through, having to say no to a social event when you've got to stay home and work on your launch program. I have just realised I'm not using my Rode microphone, but never mind, we'll just keep going. So, yeah, what is going to drive you? This is extremely important to understand. What is going to drive you? Some of the reasons that you're going to have are intrinsic, and some of the reasons that you're going to have will be extrinsic. You need to look at all of them. Okay, the intrinsic ones tend to be stronger. The intrinsic ones are feelings, and the extrinsic ones will be like, I want a big house, I want a big car, that sort of thing. So, all right, just bear with me 1 second. I think I will. All right, so let's look at intrinsic reasons. Yeah, so during menopause, what tends to happen is that women will go through a change and they will find something that really works for them, whether it's, for me, hypnotherapy or acupuncture or a diet plan or an exercise regime or a journaling practice or tantra or dancing or whatever. There will be something that really hits home for a woman, and it really makes it work for this particular woman. And so she will be fired up, and she may want to help another woman through this, with this. Again, this is about the collective rising. It's about spreading the love, spreading the joy, spreading what works. So often women want to get into business because they want to help, they want to serve. It's not enough for them to be doing kind of background work. They want to be out there. They want to be living a life that has meaning and that has purpose to fuel their energy, because it feeds your energy. Another example might be financial security or financial freedom. And there's absolutely no shame in this. We need to really ditch that idea that there is that money is a shameful pursuit. It's not. We need money to exist in this world. Be nice if we didn't, but we do. So it's not going away. And I think we need to embrace it. Maybe you want financial security for yourself. Maybe you grew up without much money and you want it for yourself. Maybe you want it for your kids. Maybe you've got a lot of kids and you don't want them to struggle. Maybe you want them to go to private school. Maybe you want them to have nice things. It's okay. That's okay. And freedom can be a big driver for many women as well. They don't want to be tied to the demands of others. They don't want to be tied to protocols, to hierarchy, to structures and systems. They want a different kind of ethos in their life. And I think this idea of freedom goes back centuries for women. This is kind of programmed in a lot of women that they want this freedom because it gives them, it helps them to break free from that old stuff. Maybe your why is like me, in an attempt to remain fertile. So I don't have kids, so that's not my why. My why for me is about giving birth to new ideas, creating a fertile soil rich in ideas and creativity. And so my business is me birthing my children. I don't even have the language for it right now. It's a nurturing, it's attending to, it's a feeling of, yeah, just zest for life, I suppose. That's a big why for me. My business gives me energy. That's why I have to do it. Maybe you're the kind of person who has always been stifled through your whole life. Maybe you were told that you weren't creative, but actually you feel like you are, that there is a creative spark within you and you don't want to die leaving your art inside of you. Maybe that's your big driver. And a big one for me also is to keep growing, to keep evolving, to keep learning more. That's a massive why for me. If I sort of don't do that, I feel a bit at a loss sometimes. So business helps to hold me accountable so that even if I don't feel like doing it, I come back to it. That's a big, big, big motivator for me. So what are your whys? What are your intrinsic ones? What are your extrinsic ones? And every person's why will be totally different. So one of my extrinsic motivations was I wanted to be able to buy the latest Sweaty Betty leggings that were coming out. And I got to that point. I got to a point where I could do that. Before, I didn't have the money to do that. And so now my extrinsic why is I want to buy a 3-bedroom house in the countryside with a garden. I currently live in a 2-bedroom flat in Brighton, which is lovely, but I want a garden. I want some outdoor space. Why wouldn't I? So it's about expanding into the next and the next and the next. Expansion is good. It's normal. It's natural. But knowing your whys will keep you grounded and it will keep you on the path when the going gets tough. So number 2, you need to have at least a rough idea of who your client is and what sort of problems they're coming to you with, what do they need solving, what are their pain points, and then you need to keep an eye on that and you need to refine that over time. So if you're quite new to business and you're not quite sure who your client is, then just think big chunk. So if you're a massage therapist, for example, maybe your client is holding tension. One of their pain points is that they're holding tension in their muscles. And so you would then, in all of your marketing materials, speak to that pain point. You really do need to understand what the issue is with your clients. And the more experienced you get, the clearer this will become. Now, there's a big clue here in that whatever you've experienced, whatever's led you to your point now in your business or in your life, the clue's there. So if you look at your own pain points, they will probably be, as a starting point anyway, the pain points of your clients. So it's a good idea to really write down and journal on this. What are the pain points of your clients? And yeah, generally speaking, you are the person you are trying to attract in your business. This is about, knowing the pain points so that you can attract the right kind of person for you. And yeah, looking at your own pain points is a very, very simple way of defining your personal client avatar. Yeah, so just think of you to begin with. So in my business journey with the RTT, it was quite interesting because RTT covers many, 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 many different issues. You've got anxiety, depression, PTSD, you've got sexual problems, erectile dysfunction, addictions, fears, phobias, fear of spiders, fear of heights, anorexia, bulimia, body dysmorphia, all of those things. And interestingly, I have never had a client for infertility because that's never been something that I have had to deal with. I rarely get clients for sort of body dysmorphia, anorexia and bulimia, although I do have some, because that's not something I've had to deal with. But I have experienced anxiety, I've experienced insomnia, I've experienced some compulsive eating issues, I've experienced like a kind of OCD type brain, I've experienced narcissistic relationship, I've been a bit of a narcissist. So all of those things that I have experienced, I get those clients. So at first I sort of decided to specialize in anxiety because when I first started training in RTT, that was the predominant issue. But then I realized the type of clients I was getting out of my anxiety marketing promo work, they weren't really in line with me. They were highly anxious people that actually didn't really want to change. So my marketing message wasn't quite right. But as time went on, I realized, what it was. It was the menopause stuff. So the menopause stuff is really an umbrella for anxiety because many women suffer with anxiety at menopause, low mood, weight gain, insomnia, burnout, loss of motivation, loss of libido, relationship issues, and entrepreneurship, right? So the menopause umbrella marketing niche, if you like, covers all of that stuff, and all of that stuff underneath is everything that I've been through on my journey. But it took time to really understand that it wasn't immediate, and it was a little bit frustrating at first because I was sort of trying things and then that wasn't working. But that's okay. You get feedback from everything. It's just about dipping your toe in the water, trying a few things out, like experimenting with your business to find out what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, you can't rush this process. You've got to just be cool, be calm, be patient. Yeah, and the reason it's important to know who you're serving, what their pain points are, what umbrella term they kind of come under, is because all of your marketing language will be based around that. And that will be used to draw them in. And if in doubt, ask them, ask people. This is about relationship building, and there's no shame in asking. You don't have to have everything fully formed. That's not how business works. You don't just sort of squirrel away for 10 years behind the scenes and then suddenly present this amazing system, website, brand, whatever. It takes time, and ideally you want to take all of your clients on the journey with you. All right, so number 3, be prepared for all your shit to come to the surface. And again, there's absolutely no shame in all your shit coming to the surface, because it will. That's what business is. Business is actually a tool for growth. Just like every single personal relationship that you have had in your life, that's been a tool for growth. So every single business relationship you have with colleagues and your clients is going to be a reflection of your own stuff. So in that sense, this is brilliant news, because it gives us an opportunity for growth and to really look at our own stuff. So what we find here is that business, going into business, especially the wellness industry, holds us accountable. We get to be held accountable, because if we're going to serve others, we have to practice what we preach. We have to walk our talk. So at the very beginning of my RTC journey, I obviously didn't have all my shit sorted. I still don't have all my shit sorted, obviously. But there was a lot more shit that wasn't sorted at the beginning. So I would be getting clients who would be reflecting back all of the stuff that I needed to deal with myself. It was all coming up. The food stuff, the weight stuff, the relationship stuff, the stuff about trust, the stuff about control, the stuff about being addicted to negativity, the stuff about self-sabotage. You know, it'd be really, really weird how I'd be going through something and then I'd have a client call with someone and they would literally be reflecting back during the call. I'd be taking notes, everything that I was going through at the time. And so in that sense, as I was helping them to transform, I was also helping myself to transform. You always learn the most from your clients. You learn loads from books and podcasts as well, but you learn the most from your clients, quite frankly. And it is, it's an accelerated learning curve. And one that I wouldn't change for the world, actually. It can be a bit like ripping a Band-Aid off in some cases. You know, sometimes you're going to get pulled up, you're going to get called out, but you learn and you move on, and your ego gets a bit dented sometimes, but it's all good. All right, so number 4, if you really, really want to grow your business, start a business or grow a business, you have to observe other people. You have to look at what they are doing. You have to watch them, you have to ask questions, and you have to translate what they are doing into your own business. So this is something that I do a lot. I still do. I probably never stop doing it, but I will always ask why. Why are they doing what they're doing? So I've got a few people that I follow who I'm inspired by, and I will look at their emails. I will look at their Insta stories. I will listen to their podcasts, their YouTube videos, and I will kind of break down what it is I think that they're doing. What are the reasons behind what they are doing? And then I will translate that into my business. So I used to hate doing this because it used to irk me. It used to remind me that it used to make me think that I was failing or that I wasn't doing enough, because I would feel this jealousy. So I'd see people doing really, really well, putting out amazing content, and I'd be like, ugh, punch in the stomach, right? But when you realize that jealousy is an invitation to overcome those blocks or to translate what they're doing into your own life, that becomes a different story and a different narrative. That becomes a calling, not a block. And it helps you to move past those blocks. So I found that to be super invaluable. This is just about having a curious mind and questioning the reasons why. Critical thinking, basically. All right, so number 5 is all about Change the technology block story. Right, so here we go. So many people that I speak to have this technology block. I can't start my business because I hate technology. I'm just no good with technology. It makes me feel overwhelmed. It makes me feel frustrated. I just can't cope with it, etc., etc. Fill in the blanks. There is a huge narrative among women our age who say, I'm just not good with technology. Technology is for the young ones, it's for the millennials, it's not for me. Because we've lived our lives without technology, haven't we? Back in the day when you would have to phone someone to ask them out on a date. But the thing is, nobody in our generation really is that great at technology, I'll be honest with you. How do we overcome it? To be honest, you can learn anything. That is the brilliant thing about technology, is that you can learn anything. You can learn anything off Google, you can learn anything off YouTube. I basically learned how to produce music on Logic via YouTube and via a support group on Facebook. You can literally learn anything. It's just knowing what to type in, and then the more you do it, the easier it becomes. This is about asking questions, always asking questions. So at the moment, I have subscribed to Kajabi, which is a new online course building platform, and it's all new. Like Overwhelm is sort of off the charts at the moment, but it soon becomes familiar. It's quite strange at how quickly it soon becomes familiar. So knowing that it will soon become familiar helps. And knowing that you can cope with overwhelm helps. Business is overwhelming, and therefore it's really important just to know that's what to expect, and to also just decide that you're not going to over dramatize overwhelm. Overwhelm doesn't have to be overwhelming. There you go. So me at the moment with Kajabi, every bloody 5 minutes I'm shooting them off a quick email to find out how to do something, but you soon get the answer. And then it's just, when you see, the longer you put off with technology, the worse it gets. I always think with everything, start now, because the only reason it's scary and challenging is because it's new. But once you've been doing it for a while, it's no longer new, and you have a quicker, easier workflow. Then you start opening up to more and more possibilities and opportunities. Okay, number 6 then. This is really about learning about business and deciding that if you are going into business, you need to learn about business as a subject. So there's 2 aspects to being an entrepreneur. On the one hand, you've got your skill. Your skill might be Reiki, it might be hypnotherapy, it might be massage, it might be design, it might be writing, journalism, it might be accountancy, it might be legal stuff. Whatever business that you're in, it's the skill. It's what people come to you for. And then you've also got, on this side, you've got the business element. You've got the marketing, the social media, the branding, the relationship building, which is all the kind of front-facing stuff. And then you've got the back-end stuff as well, which is all your kind of terms and conditions, your systems, your processes, your admin, your bookkeeping, and all of that. So many people in business, especially wellness entrepreneurs, which I think most of you are in this group, tend to fall short on the business side of things. So often they will say to me, I'm really, really confident over here. I'm really confident about what I do. But I am not so confident with my marketing. I'm not so confident with my public speaking. I'm not so confident actually getting the clients in. And I'm not great at consistently showing up on social media week in, week out. The trouble is, if you're no good at that, then really this is moot. The business over here, the skill that you've got is moot. You have to have both. You have to have both. And so when it comes to the business side of things, you've got to learn it. Just like you went to college to learn counseling or Reiki, you've got to go to college to learn the business side of things. So you need to find people who have been there, done it, got the t-shirt, paved the way for you, so that you can learn off their mistakes. So as many of you know watching this, I have a business coach. I have a business mentor who I follow avidly. I'm a bit of a Kirsty fangirl and a stalker of hers, but that's, it's paid off because I've learned so much from her. Now, so her name's Kirsty Kiani-Fard, and she's the founder of the Wellness Entrepreneur. And I am an affiliate for her products, which is great because it means I get to earn a little bit of money off of any of the products that she sells if you go through me, right? So that's great. And you can do that with anyone who you're inspired by, because this is about, giving other women a leg up. This is about becoming that fertile soil so that we can all grow and really change that cultural narrative. So in that sense, when it comes to learning about business, I have let myself be influenced, and I have invested. You have to invest, because we don't get into the wellness industry because we love business. Some people who love business get into businessy type businesses like, accountancy or legal or B2B stuff. But we get into it because we want to help others. We have suffered enough. We don't want to suffer anymore. We want to give other women a leg up. We want to change it for the generation underneath us so that the girls underneath us don't have to suffer. So let yourself be helped. Let someone who's gone before you, who has the strategies to show you the way, help move you forward. And I highly recommend Kirsty for this. Okay, so finally, the most exciting bit of the puzzle. This is about really understanding what type of business model is going to work for you, because it's not one size fits all. Some people at different times of their life have a tendency towards different types of business models. So for years, I was in the one-to-one arena, and I loved the one-to-one arena. It suited me so much. But then I got to a point where I was like, do you know what? There's more of me inside. And I'm sure, I kept repeating myself over and over again, day in, day out. And I thought, I'm sure I could just package this up and pop it into an online course. And then if those people needed more, then they could come and work with me on a one-to-one. But also, transferring all of my stuff online is helping me create more of an impact. But you might be the kind of person that is quite innovative. Maybe you are very sure that you want to package everything up and work online. Maybe you're very sure that you can cope with the technology side of things that an online business requires. Or maybe you're the kind of person that loves to travel and that loves going on retreats. So maybe setting up a retreat in another country would be brilliant for you. I've got a friend that does that she's an Aquarius. She loves to travel. That's not me. I'm not that bothered by traveling. I did so much traveling in my 20s and early 30s that I sort of don't feel that need to travel now. So setting up a retreat in another country wouldn't be right for me. But what is right for me is my online stuff and my one-to-one stuff. And I like doing real life events as well, which would be quite good. So it's really understanding what's right for you. And the brilliant thing is there's something that you can do to find that out. So this is the fun bit. So my friend Kirsty has designed a quiz that tells you what is your wellness business type. And I would love for you to take this quiz. Literally takes 5 minutes. It's quite insightful. And when you answer the questions, I want you to just go with your gut. Like, don't overthink it. what's the first thing that pops into your head? So your wellness business quiz is at, I'll give you the link and then I'll post the link either above or below, depending on where you're watching. It's kirstykianifard.com/Sally quiz. That's kirstykianifard.com/Sally quiz. So this is my own personal affiliate link. So I would really appreciate it if you would stay through that link. So try not to get diverted off of it. And let me know what your wellness business type is. I would love to know. I am a revolutionist. And I love that. I'm owning that. I'll take that. Thank you very much. So let me know what yours is when you find out what it is. So that's kirstykianifard.com/Sally quiz. All right. So in conclusion, then, let's just have a quick conclusion for what we've been speaking about. If you are a menopausal woman in your peri to postmenopausal years and you are feeling the urge, the pull, the calling to go into business as a way of prolonging your fertile years, because that's what business is, it's fertility on steroids, then you are going to want to watch these next 5 videos that are going to be released every week on a Monday. In this video, we spoke about know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because you're going to need to know that why when the going gets tough. You can pull on it, and also that why will change as you go through the different stages of your menopausal journey. And that's okay. Your business can change with you. Your business can grow with you. Number 2, at least have a rough idea of who your clients are, what their pain points are, and then in all of your material that you put out online, speak to their pain points. Be the person that solves the problem for them. Number 3, be prepared for all your shit to come to the surface. There's no shame in that. Learn to walk your talk. Let your clients be a reflection of what you're going through, where you're at. Learn to practice what you preach and cut yourself some slack if you can't do it all at once. Number 4, look at what others are doing, analyze what they're doing, observe what they're doing, ask why they're doing what they're doing, and then transfer that to your business. Number 5, change your technology block story. It is overwhelming. That's fine. It's overwhelming for everyone. Remember, it's only overwhelming because it's new. Once you get going, it's no longer overwhelming. And anyone can learn it. You know, we are not the technology generation, but we can learn. There are people out there who will help us figure it all out. You've got Mr. Google and Mr. YouTube. Why did I say Mr? Let's call it Mrs. That's how entrenched we are in sexism. It's like the default male. Number 6, learn about business. Don't just learn your skill, you have to learn about business. Find someone that influences you. Totally recommend Kirsty Kianifard as a wellness business expert, and yeah, learn about the business. And number, wherever we are, 7, I think, understand your wellness business type. So understand what kind of business model is going to be best for you, and don't forget to take Kirsty's quiz. So that link once more, it's kirstykianifard.com/Sally quiz. All right, my lovelies, I hope you've enjoyed that, and let me know what your thoughts are. I'm happy to respond to any comments, any questions, and I hope to see you all next week.